guys, I'm back. Time for another, I guess you could say, trailer reaction. Although this one is a little bit more special. It is a famous Bungie Vidoc. Vidoc, however you pronounce it. I've always called it Vidoc, always all the way back to the Halo days. But I am so stoked to watch this. I've waited all day, haven't seen it yet. I've seen one screenshot that someone posted on Twitter, but I am so excited to watch this Vidoc and react to it. So for those of you guys that don't know, Destiny 2 has been basically my main game for the last 10 years. All the way back through Destiny 1, I played super hardcore all the way up until, honestly, this last fall. And I listen to podcasts for it every week. It's one of my favorite video games of all time. In fact, I originally, when I dreamed of making this channel, I made this channel, strictly for the idea of it becoming a Destiny channel, because there's so many content creators that I love that I wanted to try it for myself. Now, having said that, since I've started this channel, I've done maybe 1 or 2 Destiny videos. I have completely stopped playing this game. In fact, I've dabbled here and there since Shadowkeep came out, but I just haven't really had the same love for the game recently, and maybe it's because I played it so much. But anyway, the new Vidoc came out for Beyond Light, the new expansion that comes out in like a week and a half. I'm super stoked to see it. So we're going to pause it as we go through. It's a little bit longer. It's a 14-minute video. For those of you guys that are interested in Destiny, definitely check this out. This is probably going to be a great time for you to jump in. It's free to play. But anyway, let's just stop talking. Let's just jump into the video, shall we? The darkness, dude.
The next trilogy of stories that we're trying to tell.
Mark noteworthy. Luke looks a little skinny there. I don't know if you saw that. It looks a little skinny. Okay, sorry. Let's keep going.
Players are going to go on a journey to discover the true nature of light and dark.
Yeah, we've heard that before.
It's the beginning of players learning more about the darkness than, in fact, going so far as to wield it.
Luke just looks different in this video. Wow, Europa looks sweet.
Behind, walking a different road than one.
No time to explain. Exotic rifle from Destiny 1 coming back from the stranger. Okay, I dig it.
That you may have believed you were destined for.
What makes something bad?
Ooh.
What makes darkness dark?
That looks pretty cool.
Who's right? Who wasn't?
Aldrin?
How are those learnings going to change the characters that you have gotten to know over the last 6 years?
What, dude? That was pretty sick. I hope we get a ton of cutscenes for this one. If they say they're actually going to dive into story, there better be some more story elements and cutscenes in it. I don't want to sit here and read lore books the whole time.
Beyond Light's really the beginning of a new adventure.
It looks like that came from the pyramid ship.
The light, sort of this altruistic force fighting back evil, and now we're starting to move into that gray area between the light and dark.
If the darkness reaches out, we must reach back.
I will not sanction this.
In Season of Arrivals, the Vanguard is divided. You have some characters telling you, we should fight these ships, and we have other characters who are saying, no, we should find out what they want. We should get to know them and understand.
Which one were you? I don't know. I kind of think about that, and we'll get into it a little bit later. I'm interested to see how it goes. Me personally, they haven't really done a good job with the story to pull me either direction, if I'm being honest. The Traveler has literally just sat in the last city and done absolutely nothing ever since Destiny started. I mean, there's, at the end of the Destiny 2 campaign, he finally woke up and they're like, oh, he's awake. Nothing's happened since then. And the darkness, here's a little bit of a rant here. The darkness. Here's why I'm so bummed, okay? The darkness has been hyped up for years. It's the only thing we've heard about. I was so stoked and honestly thought there was going to be a Destiny 3 coming in, whether you wanted a third game or you wanted to continue on, it doesn't matter. But as much as they've hyped up the darkness, I thought that when it finally arrived in our solar system, it was going to be like, for those of you that played Mass Effect, like when the Reapers showed up. Like you were just crapping your pants for when they actually showed up. They showed up this last season and floated over a planet. And that was it. They didn't do anything. Like, there was some lore here and there, and yeah, the Hive are interfering with it, I guess. But for the most part, this huge build-up to the darkness, they showed up and nothing has happened. So I'm hoping that something will happen this, with this expansion that shows a little bit more, but they always overpromise on, I feel like, these trailers and these Vidocs, and then the actual season comes out and it's not anywhere close to like what they said. So here's hoping this one's going to be different.
And more, but it definitely comes to a head.
Rasputin, I could rant about Rasputin aware as well.
Characters and factions are reacting to these disappeared destinations and what that means.
Whoa, bro. The Cabal, Zavala, and, oh my gosh, why am I forgetting his name? Osiris. All here, I freaking knew that the Cabal were going to join us. I knew it. Either them or the Fallen. And I'm sure the Fallen will probably jump on board here soon, but I am stoked for this expansion for this cutscene alone.
Pyramids have arrived in our system, not for the first time, but for the second time.
I like how that dude's just rocking flip-flops.
We're going to see the return of a character who's been absent for a pretty long time in The Stranger, and boy, does she have a lot to say. And she has a lot.
I hope so,
of time.
because the last time she did not have a lot of time to explain.
She has shown up to encourage us to take on the darkness, and the only way to truly stop it is to work with it.
That thing is so
And
sweet.
Here comes our guardian, right on time.
Ooh, that was new. We hadn't seen that from the first trailer.
Why did the darkness invite us here?
Ooh, the voice our guardians are speaking.
Europa is literally like a time capsule.
It looks so sick.
Europa is huge.
Killer destination, freezing cold.
Desolate.
Some of the most beautiful spaces I've ever seen in a video game.
It's a bold claim. Destiny has some amazing
There was
views.
a lot built on Europa during the Golden Age, and a lot of that was built underground. Clovis Bray had some research facilities there, really pushing the limits of technology and innovation there.
That's pretty cool. So for those of you guys that don't know, that one of the character classes that you choose in the beginning, the Exo, it's like a robot, kind of class, or I shouldn't say class, but race that you are. Those Exos were actually built on Europa. It's where they were developed. So that's why people have been so excited to go to Europa, because we get a little background of the Exos. And there's a lot of lore with like Cade 6 as well. And there was maybe some evil things going on when they made the Exo. Hopefully we find that stuff out, because it's been teased for years. Let's hopefully see if it pays off.
Maybe stepping into some things that we shouldn't have.
Under
hope
the
so.
ice, all kinds of secrets.
I'm so excited for what players are going to find.
There better be some freaking secrets. Okay, there's the raid, dude. That's the raid.
The storm on Europa was actually something we've wanted to do for a long time.
We wanted it to feel harsh.
The weather system is so awesome. Like, you're walking through...
Ooh, I
open
like
space, and all of a
that. I
sudden,
like how the
things
snow,
start
like you
happening.
actually see your steps. It's deep.
Coming across like Fallen or Vex for the first time, you can barely make out the glow in their eyes.
Oh, that's kind of
The sound
cool.
of the wind, the ice will change based on what the weather is looking like.
It's
You'll
like
actually
dynamic
feel
weather?
Every piece of the environment changing around you to match the storm.
Whoa, dude, that's like the freaking raid boss from Scourge. That's cool.
Europa itself is a pretty foreboding place. Aramis is there in advance of us, and she set up a forward base. She has lieutenants who have gotten their hands on Stasis.
Lieutenants. Was it Forsaken? Wasn't it Forsaken where we went through and we had to fight off like all of the different Scourge? Like lieutenants? I'm pretty sure it was. Okay, if it's a similar aspect to that, okay.
Gotten their hands on the darkness, and they're learning to wield it.
One by one, we will rise again.
And so I think her motivations are really interesting, too.
Today, we begin breaking free from our chains.
Another lore tidbit, I believe. So the Fallen survive on this substance. I can't remember what it's called, but they get it from servitors, and that's why servitors that thing behind this character here is really important because they help them survive. She just froze the servitor, maybe basically insinuating that they don't need them anymore, like which, maybe that's what she's alluding to, because the darkness is going to sustain them now instead of that substance that the servitors give them. I don't know.
Aramis really challenges a lot of the ways
Yep,
that we
okay.
think about
She destroyed it.
light and darkness. She's going to make you think about your relationship with the Traveler.
She's a compelling leader, and she has a vision.
I hope she's a good
And
villain.
especially after
Our last
the
couple
collapse
villains
of
have
their
really
society,
sucked, if I'm being
or they-
honest.
The Fallen wanted someone to follow.
Is the light going to be enough? I think we've seen that we need some new tools to fight our enemies with. Maybe it's time to fight fire with fire, or ice with ice.
Stasis is, not just a set of new supers, but it's
Okay, again, here's another rant. We have waited for years to see the darkness and just all these imaginations in our minds of what it's going to be, how cool it will look, because we know how awesome the light is. But all we've heard forever is how powerful the darkness was. And the Traveler basically had to sacrifice himself in order to repel the darkness because it was just taking over everything. The first time we see the darkness in this game, or at least its powers, and it looks like ice, that to me made me a little nervous about where they're going forward, because I'm not saying it doesn't look cool, but when I think of the darkness, a power that rivals the light, I don't imagine ice. And people will probably say, oh, well, the darkness is infused with it, and that's just its typing, whatever, yada, yada. I'm just saying everyone has their own preference to it. This, in my mind, is not anything what I thought the darkness was going to look like, and because of that, I'm kind of let down. It brought my excitement level from, here, honestly down a little bit, because I feel like that's one of this expansion's main selling point is how we're able to wield the darkness, and the darkness, to me, doesn't look that cool. And the subclasses don't really seem that interesting. But we'll see. I don't know. I'm probably being a little, negative, and that's fine. But sadly, Bungie hasn't really done much for me. And I feel like the last, especially with Shadowkeep, I feel like I'm just constantly being let down by them, by what they're promising to what actually happens. That I'm hoping that this one exceeds my expectations. We'll see.
a new damage type. We've got Solar Void.
Ooh, I like how the background changed. That's cool. Oh. Oh. Sweet. Let's just take a quick gander at that screen. There's the new artifact down there in the bottom. Everything looks pretty similar up here at the top.
We've got Solar Void Arc, and now we've...
So this right here looks like... So this is the new way that we're customizing our load, or our super, or our class. Because everyone loved Destiny 1 because it was a lot more customizable. With Destiny 2, they tried to make it simple, and you basically just selected a block of abilities, and that's what you did. And not a lot of people liked it. I didn't like it. So they're supposed to be adding more customization to it, and this looks pretty cool. It looks like right here, like this is his jump ability. It looks like there's, a couple other boxes down below that you can select, which type of jump you want, which I really like. And turning invisible. Hey, we'll keep going. Shut up, Zach. Okay, we're going.
The idea for Stasis all really came back from
This
the
dude is the
gameplay
goat.
idea of freezing someone.
Dave is
That
the
was
goat.
kind of the theme that everyone's kind of rallied behind. Dima's an amazing concept artist, had some images that really kind of put us on the right path.
What really was landing with that was the more crystalline notion.
Don't like it. Not as
So
cool
when
in
we
my
say
opinion. Not the
cosmic
darkness.
ice, that's kind of where the cosmic comes in.
Once he freezes solid, I'm able to hit him
So,
again.
it looks okay, I guess. It looks kind of cool.
The pieces break apart and explode in those
Looks
sharp
okay.
shards that can damage you. So all of that kind of came together when we landed on that theme.
Stasis is going to not only change the
Ooh,
way that you
that
can
was pretty
attack or
cool.
approach combat.
It's like a
There's
ninja
really
star
great ways
that
you
bounced
can
off all the
upgrade.
characters.
Then you start getting into like the more interesting parts, things that we're calling aspects and fragments, which are additional ways to modify your subclass.
Okay.
aspects are a little
Oh, dude, Frozen with his freaking whatever that's called, Rift.
class agnostic, but depending on what your class is and depending on what your aspects are and how you want to play.
I like that. I like the customization of that. That's actually pretty
So
dope.
just the beginning for Stasis. We're going to continue.
Like I said, I haven't seen any of this, so this is all brand new to me.
Get their hands on this.
When we're creating a new palette like Stasis, we do what we call a source jam. Everyone on the team blocks out about a week
Don't know what that
where
means.
we can say, okay, you're going to go out into the world, microphone recorder, record anything that reminds you of cosmic ice.
Cool.
That gives us the palette that we can build the eventual sound.
Bungie has some of the best sound design in any video game.
personally that the
They
best
make
way
the
to do it
best
at
video
night.
games with sound design, in my
But
opinion.
Doing screams, screeches, and blood-curdling yells is a little scary at night. Then I had a really rumbly stomach, and that also was recorded. I think there was also a breast pump.
Interesting.
You have to make use of what you got.
Really quick, I saw a picture that with the new armor in Beyond Light, this stuff right here, all this glow, will be able to change colors. Which you think would be pretty cool, but they already had it in Destiny 1. And somewhat in Destiny 2, you think that they would just keep that trend going, which I hope they do. Bungie has a history of introducing something which is awesome, then it disappears for whatever reason, you don't see it forever, and then they reintroduce it later and act like it's a big deal when it is cool, but it should have been there, you've already introduced it once. Why isn't it, stuck in the game? That could be selfish of me, I don't know. Again, cynical, but I've just been burnt in the past. That freaking sword looks insane. It's got a chainsaw on it.
No Time to Explain is coming back.
Nice.
Instead of just being the gun that refills your magazine when you land precision hits, you actually get a little time portal, and it starts spitting out rounds alongside you.
What?
You can actually have that on top of the Arc Soul, so you can be your own little mini firing squad.
What, dude?
Another one.
No way. Oh, okay, that was cool. I had both of them up, and he was just emoting while they were shooting everything else.
That ends up in a big spinning slash.
The hash slinging slasher.
A lot of people is that it slices right through barrier champions.
Nice. I can dig that.
The draw for most people is actually going to be the fact that it is a chainsaw sword.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty freaking dope.
For Beyond Light, we really wanted to create exotic armor pieces that formed a key part of your build around which all the other parts of your build could revolve.
Sweet.
For example, the Titan gets the Icefall Mantle, which is a set of exotic arms that looks like it is crafted from Golden Age tech. When you activate it, you sort of slam your arms down, create a burst of stasis energy, and then you cover yourself in an overshield.
Sweet.
The Warlock exotic is Necrotic Grip.
Gosh,
If you are
Warlock
facing
Masterclass.
a wave of thralls running at you, you can nail them with your melee attack, and it starts to burst and sort of cascade through the whole group.
What? That's pretty dark, too. That's pretty evil. That's Hive stuff right there. That's dope. Oh, no, Hunter? The Cosmodrome.
Customers coming in too. If you've got a friend who hasn't tried it out, it's a really great.
I'm so
time to
excited
jump
for the
in.
Cosmodrome.
New Light, that entry experience for free players.
Last year, when New Light launched, we brought back a small portion of the Cosmodrome. This year, we're bringing back
Just bring it all
a much
back.
larger portion of the destination.
Okay. I dig that.
It takes some of the experiences that started with original Destiny 1, but puts them and stitches them together in a different way and adds new things and tells a different story.
What you're going to meet in this new opening experience is a character with not one
Wow.
but two names from Fast and the Furious, Shah Han.
Thank the light. I didn't
Interesting.
think we had other Guardians on patrol here.
He's wearing a freaking exotic arms. I can't even remember what those are called. That gives you the bonus grenade? Dude, sick. Okay. I dig that. There needs to be more NPCs in Destiny with dialogue. My favorite games are those games, like I mentioned earlier, Mass Effect, God of War, different, like, they're very, you can actually hear characters telling the story or you're a part of the story. I feel like Destiny too much nowadays. By the way, it looks like his mask, it looks like his tongue is poking out here, which is hilarious. Destiny spends way too much of its time doing lore in reading, like in just pages in the lore books, which I'm sure is great. I've read a lot of it, but I'd much rather actually experience the story and have characters, you know, show me. Anyway.
What I love about the Cosmodrome is it feels like
Joe Blackburn, he's back. Okay, yep, here we go.
Season of the Hunt picks up where Arrivals
It's a
left
new
off.
season
Other
of Season of the Hunt.
forces are taking advantage of the darkness to make their move forward, including Zivu Arath, a sister of Oryx, and she's taking this opportunity to build up an army, and we're working
What?
with Osiris to try to stop her.
Osiris
Okay.
goes out, stumbles across.
Another thing with Bungie. Again, Zach, you're being so negative. I know. Again, I'm burned. I see this stuff like right here. I guarantee you. And if I'm wrong, let me know. I guarantee when they say, oh, Season of the Hunt, and they outline, oh, we're fighting this sister of Oryx, blah, 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 blah. I hope that it lasts, but I guarantee this is the opening scene on the very first day of the season, and you never really hear from it again. It's like, you know, little background noises. We did Season of Arrivals, and now you had that thing with Eris, where you showed up every week under the tree. That was about it, most of the time.
These
Nothing else.
That are driving combatants crazy.
Oh,
Cyrus
crap,
is in
dude.
trouble, and of course, you're his only hope.
What, dude? What? Aldrin, no! Oh gosh, no, I accidentally flipped it back. Did I miss it? Where is it?
You're his only
He's back, dude. We're gonna hear what actually happened to him. What about that sword? And he's got the cloak. He's a hunter. Oh, my hype train, dude.
We warned you it was going to be dangerous down here.
He's got a ghost. How are they going to react to him? I'm so excited to see that. Okay, see, they do this to me every time, Bungie. I get so cynical, but then they show stuff. I'm like, ugh. Gotta tune in to watch it.
Impossible.
Please tell me more about him, please.
We finally catch up to what we saw at the end of Forsaken, where we saw Aldrin being brought back to life by a ghost.
It's about frickin' time. 2 years.
Who now refers to himself as Crow. He doesn't know what he did. The slate's been wiped clean when he was resurrected. As
I
a
dig
guardian.
that.
I dig
We know
that.
what he's done, and we know what he could be capable of doing. So now we're going to spend some time watching him go back and forth, and that's going to question how we look at him, how we look at ourselves, how we look at the light, how we look at darkness.
In Season of the Hunt, we're partnering with the Crow and Osiris to take down the High Celebrant.
Okay.
It's creating these
Cool.
cryptoliths around the system, and those cryptoliths are attracting Elixian Cabal.
They look like the Dreaming City, which I'm excited for.
Zivu Arath is essentially corrupting herself an army, and it's our job to put a stop to it.
I'm really excited to see Zivu Arath fleshed out more and to find out more about her relationship with Savathun.
Same, dude.
And what that
Same.
means for year 4 of Destiny.
Same, dude.
Savathun has been placing dominoes, and at the end of year 4, she's gonna knock down the dominoes. We're gonna see what she's been really up to. And
Oh
so
my gosh.
This year, she's putting the last pieces in place.
I dig that. So for those of you guys that don't know, the next expansion after Beyond Light is the Witch Queen, which is Savathun, who's been built up, again, for years and years and years.
Destiny is just a really incredible world, and there are so many stories for us to tell.
Yes,
We
you
have
keep
lots
starting them
of
but not
work in
finishing
Beyond
them.
Light, then the
So
Witch
let's
Queen,
finish
then
some.
Lightfall, and all the seasonal content between.
Yep.
I feel like we've got a really great way to bring people together.
Good.
Working through COVID and working through some of the other turmoil in the world right now has been really challenging.
I have to admit, I've been pleasantly surprised with how well we've been able to get things done.
We're committed to your characters and your community of players. We want to meet you where you are.
I think the thing that excites me the most about Destiny's future is how much it's rooted in where we come from.
Seeing Phil
Is that
and
Varix?
build
It
and
looked like
find out
Varix
secrets that
from Destiny
we've been
1.
hinting at for years.
When I look at the team that we're building and continuing to grow and hire, the new leaders that are coming up in Destiny, that gets me super excited.
Destiny's best days are ahead of us.
Man, I hope so. Okay. Let's go through. We'll leave it, we'll leave it at this screen right here. Okay? Thoughts on this, because I know we've been going for a little while now. If there's one thing that Bungie does right every single time is they do a very, very good job of getting you hyped up for their next release or whatever they have next. They're great at their trailers, the hype train, everything is fantastic. And to be honest, when I look at Destiny, the gameplay as far as first-person shooter is the best, shooting feel in any game I've ever played, hands down. The environments are gorgeous. They're skyboxes, everything they do, their design is incredible. Their sound design, incredible. They're like, what am I trying to say here? Like, long story short, what I'm trying to say is I feel like they've got all this stuff in play that just works. But in my opinion, the two things that keep me from playing Destiny right now and has slowly, you push me away over the years from playing it has been, one, the rewards. I feel like the rewards, specifically in Destiny 2, are really lacking. I remember sinking hours and hours and hours every single week, doing 3 raids a week with each of my characters, to try and get the best gear so I could get leveled up so that I could do all these different events. I have never one time in Destiny 2 felt that way. Not one time. That's just me again. And number 2, the story. Destiny 1, the story wasn't really that good, except for Oryx. The Taken King was amazing. Then you look at Destiny 2, it had a really good opening campaign. There was a good villain. There was an actual campaign that lasted a little while. And it finished. And I was like, okay, that was really cool. Since that time, and I would even say with Forsaken, there hasn't really been much of a story. And what really annoys me with Destiny recently, again, I'm talking very negative here, but there will be a positive at the end, I promise. We keep starting all these different threads with stories. All these different threads, all these different characters that are awesome. But I feel like every single time we do it, we build up. Forsaken, to me, was way overrated. I did not like that expansion at all. I didn't think it was that good. I feel like they build up all these stories, and then right when it comes to a point that's actually cool, it cuts off and it saves it for later. Destiny needs to start paying off on these stories, or else I feel like more people like me and my buddies are just going to keep, distancing themselves from Destiny. And I really, really hope, and from what they've said, and they've said this before, Beyond Light seems like the next step in finishing off some of these threads. And I really, really hope that's the case. I was actually very excited that this Vidoc came out today, because the next video I was going to do is there's about 4 video games that are coming out over the next month and a half, and I don't know which one I'm going to get. I only want to get really one right now, and I was just going to progress from that point. And it came down to Beyond Light, the new Assassin's Creed, the new Hyrule Warriors for Nintendo Switch, and Cyberpunk. And I was going to make a video to go over which one of those I would be most interested in doing based off the trailers. And just strictly, like I said, Destiny's been my favorite game. I've been obsessed with it. Beyond Light was probably my last choice out of all the new games, because I feel like I've done it for so many years and there hasn't really been anything that's really, there isn't really much that's keeping me in it anymore. I'd much rather experience something new, which I feel like is reasonable. This changed it a little bit. It did. I'm excited. I'm very hesitant with it. I'm cautiously optimistic, which I feel like is a term that is used all the time with Destiny. Destiny, again, is an amazing game that I've spent way more time in it than any other game I've ever played. But like I said, it needs to start paying the stuff off. And the ice stuff, I'm not super stoked about. That's not one of the reasons I'm going to play it. The subclass I've looked forward to for years honestly doesn't look that cool. I think a lot of the subclasses honestly look recycled from other subclasses we've already used. So we'll see. The biggest draw for me right now in Beyond Light is the story, is Europa and the guns and stuff like that. That is what I'm looking forward to, and I hope that it pays off. And not only do I hope that it pays off, I hope that it pays off and it carries forward. There's no, cliffhanger that happens at the end. So, anyways, I've ranted. Probably seems very pessimistic, I know, but that's just how Destiny is for me right now. I'm very, very excited for the progression and to see how it goes and, how the story progresses, but I'm being very cautious about it as well. You guys tell me what you guys think. For those of you that are still watching, I know it's been a very long video, but for those of you that have watched this whole thing, what do you think? Am I way off base? Are you thinking similar things to me as when it comes to Destiny and the story and how the game has progressed? Let me know. I always love to read the comments and see what you guys think. I appreciate you guys so much for checking out this video, and I will see you guys next time, hopefully in Destiny.